Vivian is with you, the main tamer of exotic animals in YouTube. Last time I told you how to teach a crocodile to sing, and today I'll show you how to teach your snake to dance. I stopped the live and found the video Snake Dancing to the Flute. For a year now, I've been running a channel where I upload other people's videos of exotic animal taming as my own. People like it and they believe me. Honestly, I can't stand animals. I just wanted to make some money and finally move out of the smelly apartment into a luxury mansion. But so far, things haven't been going well. After the live, I got a call on Zoom. Have advertisers finally noticed my account? I quickly combed my hair and answered. The woman on the screen introduced herself as Milana and immediately asked to tame one animal. Actually, I'm a YouTube star. I have my own show, and I'm not going to do this. Then she turned the camera to the gorgeous pool. I was looking into the water and didn't understand anything, and suddenly a shark appeared right in front of the camera. Its huge jaws made me uneasy. The woman said she was willing to pay $100,000 if I made the shark tame. With this money, I can rent a luxury mansion. I spent my entire childhood in an old shack with my 4 sisters, and I dreamed of my own luxurious home. I immediately blurted out that I agreed, and we agreed to meet. I immediately got dressed. I caught a taxi and went to her. I promised myself that I would break out of this poverty and collect money for the coolest house. I was so caught up in the memories that I didn't even notice when I drove up to the luxurious mansion. Milana was waiting for me on the threshold of the mansion. The house looked even more luxurious from the inside. Even the separate room with the pool was in marble. But then I saw a huge shark, which was slowly winding circles on the bottom. I was stunned with horror. It could easily eat a person. Milana said that in a month, they would have very important guests, and by then, the shark should be tamed. Damn it, I didn't know what to do. After all, if they revealed that I was a fake tamer, it would be a failure. But suddenly, this Milana said that in the evening, she and her husband were leaving, and I could live in their house for a month, working with a shark. So they won't be here. I thought about it. For them, this amount was a trifle, and I really needed the money. So I decided that I would send fake videos to Milana, and on the day of their arrival, I would tell Milana that I needed another month. They would of course refuse, and I would carefully veer off the subject. I lived like a queen all week, lying around on the deck chairs, doing nothing. And on the weekend, I downloaded a video of a pet shark and sent it to Milana. She immediately transferred an advance to my account, $2,000. When the money fell into the account, I was drinking lemonade on the veranda, and suddenly a girl came out to me. Hey, I'm going to call security. But this kiddo just laughed and said that the guards would rather listen to her. After all, she was Erica, Milana's daughter. I almost choked when I heard that. She asked sarcastically how things were going with the taming, and my heart sank. Was this a test? I got nervous and said that sharks were slow to learn tricks. But Erica suddenly shouted that I was as incompetent as all the previous tamers. She would not allow her family to pay a fraudster. Arrogant rich girl! What does she even understand? And at that moment, she went somewhere, slamming the front door. I was frantically thinking about what to do, but then Milana called me. God, did Erica sell me out? But Milana suddenly began to praise me. Her daughter said that I had already tamed the shark. I didn't understand anything. Milana happily added that she had invited all her friends over for the weekend to watch the tame shark. God, this was a complete failure. I hated this Erica with all my heart. She deliberately set me up, but I won't let this little girl ruin my plan. I tried to figure out what to do, and then I got an idea. I rushed to the kitchen. I needed to find meat and learn at least a couple of commands with the shark, but there were only vegetables in the refrigerator. And suddenly, on the last shelf, I saw a piece of ham. That's lucky. Looking around, I returned to the pool. My knees were weak with fear, but I had no choice but to throw the pieces of ham to the shark, shouting commands, but it grabbed them and didn't even look in my direction. Suddenly, on the other side of the pool, I noticed Erica. She was videoing me on her cell. What are you doing? Erica said with a chuckle that it was time for my subscribers to find out what the supposedly best tamer on YouTube really was. Not again! I ran to her and tried to grab the cell. It was already in my hands, but it slipped out and fell into the water, right into the shark's gaping mouth. We were both taken aback. You're the one to blame, Erica. Angrily, I ran out of the room. The next day, I woke up early and went down to the pool. While Erica sleeps, I'll try to tame the shark with the help of a hoop. But what is it? The shark was lying on its back with its eyes closed. What's happening? I quickly called the vet clinic, but none of them had any shark specialists. Heck. Finally, one doctor agreed to come, but for $1,000. Oh shit. I did want to part the money, but if something happened to the shark, that's it for me. So I mumbled that I agreed. As soon as the doctor came, he immediately asked what I was feeding the shark. I said it was a ham, but it was not fresh. The doctor shook his head and said that the shark was obviously poisoned by something else. I turned pale. It's Erica's stupid phone. The vet gave it some drops, but when he was leaving, he said that sharks responded well to sound waves, and to make it get better faster, I could sing to her. No way! I closed the door behind him and looked at the shark. I was barely breathing. I suddenly felt sorry for it. Maybe I should try it. And I began to sing the only song I knew, a lullaby from my distant childhood. At first, nothing happened, but suddenly the shark moved its fin slightly. Was I making it? As I continued to sing, I heard someone sneeze in the corner. Erica, were you eavesdropping? I was expecting more threats, but instead, she suddenly said sadly that she was afraid it was going to die and whispered softly that we had to save the shark. I noticed that there were tears in Erica's eyes. The next morning, I went down to the pool to check on the shark, and it looked like it was getting better. Did it work? And then Erica ran to the pool. She was happy. She even had tears in her eyes. A second later, Erica fell into the water with a crash. Damn it! She'd slipped on the sidewalk. And then I saw the shark open its mouth and head straight for Erica. I had to do something urgently. I closed my eyes and threw myself into the water. I swam over to Erica and blocked her with my body. Up close, the shark was so creepy. I saw 2 rows of shark teeth. God, this is the end. I squeezed my eyes shut, but suddenly the predator began to rub its fin against my back. What? Am I alive? Am I dreaming? But the shark seemed to be pushing me, and I was holding terrified Erica in my arms. It looked like she was going to eat us. Still trembling with fear, I swam forward and dived, and the shark did the same. Was that a trick? Looked like I really tamed this shark. Wow. We spent the next hour fooling around in the water. It was so much fun. Of course, I was occasionally afraid just in case, but the shark played with us as with children. Erica was so happy and rode on the shark's back like on a dolphin. Oddly enough, Erica didn't even seem like a silly rich girl to me right now. She was just happy. Erica's parents suddenly came in. They began to rush us. The guests they wanted to show the shark to were going to arrive early. We got out of the pool and Milana handed me the money, telling me I had to go. Suddenly, Erica hugged me. She said that she finally had real friends, me and Amu, as she called the shark. Erica added that no one was friends with her at school. Everyone just teased her for her wealth. For a second, I felt sorry for her. I had been teased before too, but because of my poverty. I was going to get my things when I heard Milana talking to someone. I closed the door and listened, and I heard her say that the shark had been tamed after all, and that the menagerie circus would buy the shark for $1 million. I was taken aback. This was the most violent circus in the country. Animals were being bullied there. In a panic, I ran out and shouted that it was wrong, but Milana replied coldly that it was none of my business. In addition, Milana looked through all the surveillance footage, so if I tried to stop her, she would put all my videos on YouTube, and my fans would understand that I was a fake and that I did it all by accident. Confused, I wandered into the yard and suddenly saw Amu in a large aquarium in the trunk of a truck. Are they taking her away? Erica was standing there, sobbing. She put her hand to the glass, and the shark pressed its nose against the other side. No, I definitely had to fix this. But how? Looked like the only way to save Amu was to steal a pickup truck. I tried to open it, but Milana was already coming out of the house with the guests. Now Amu will be taken away. I tried to handle off the car, but to no avail. Then I was called out. It was Erica. She threw me the key. I jumped into the car in a second and hit the gas. And then my cell began to burst from the comments of my subscribers. Animal abuser, swindler, you're a fake. I unsubscribed. I was showered with angry comments. Milan had already posted a video where Amo was lying on its back in the middle of the pool after my feed. Tears welled up in my eyes. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, a patrol stopped me. The police said they had already been informed of the theft, and now I had to go with them to the police station. But all I thought about at the station was Amu. Soon it would be sold to that damned circus. It was all my fault, and no miracle would happen. But at that moment, Erica ran into the station. She blurted out to the cops that it was her family's pickup truck, and she let me take it for a ride. What? Erica, this was dangerous. The police checked her documents and then reluctantly let me go. We went out into the street, and Erica immediately ran to Amu. I lowered my eyes and said that the shark should not go to the circus, but then we would have to let it go to sea because there was nowhere else to take it. Erica looked sad, but nodded quickly. It was hard for her to let Amu go, but she understood that it was best for all of us. We drove to the sea, and I couldn't stop crying. Amu trusted us, and now we had to say goodbye. Erica said we had to hurry. Her parents might find us at any moment. Then we opened the side and released the shark. Amu quickly swam forward and seemed to take a piece of my soul with it. There was a lump in my throat. I looked at Erica, but suddenly she hugged me. And then I thought, even if I had to go back to my shabby room, today I realized that there was something much more valuable in life than money. This was a real friendship. I hugged Erica back. We looked out to the sea and saw Amu spin. She circled the shore for a long time and then swam off into the distance. I'll miss you too, Amu.